Well, hey everybody, I'm going to try a live video today. Wi-Fi has been like this in my area, so I'm out for lunch a little early today from work, so I thought I would talk about some of the calmest areas of law. I touched on it in a previous video, and then someone came on my YouTube channel and said, what are some of those areas? I'm leaning toward that because frankly, as a beginner, trial prep is scaring me. Working for a litigation attorney is intimidating to this commenter on my channel. So that's a bona fide concern. However, my first job, was a compilation of estate planning as well as primarily working in trial prep in litigation. So I learned it step by step, okay? It wasn't where I was thrown in the middle of it and I have to try to swim. It wasn't that. But for some people, it could be that. And that's why when I tell you before you enter the legal field, you should study as much as you can. It might just be overnight before you apply to a job. You should do your homework, okay? And you should learn, and even before you apply, look at areas of law where there are currently jobs, and then you have to investigate. Be an investigative paralegal for yourself so that you are going in well aware of what you'll be doing every day. It's not from an attorney's standpoint. It's from the paralegal's perspective, okay? The attorneys work on other things. We are managing everything, so we don't act as an attorney. That is one of the first steps for me. If I were to change jobs right now, and I never talk about where I work because I give the law firms that I work, well, one law firm that I work for, privacy, okay? So I never share that. And that's something for you to understand for the future, okay? Be careful about bringing in your law firm into something you're doing in the public eye. Give them privacy. So if I were going, for instance, back into personal injury, which I have worked in, then I would need to brush up because it has been many years since I worked in personal injury. So I would have to go, okay, yeah, I remember this. Okay, I have to do this as a paralegal, not what the attorney does. Really take those two and split them apart in your mind. And where would I do that research? Google is my BFF, okay? That is my BFF. So when I want to do research, and I don't mean some legal research, yes, but research about a career, about what a paralegal does, I'm going to go on there and try to find it. Okay, I'm amazed at people who ask questions in another group I'm in, and they don't even use Google. That is not the way to become a good paralegal. Okay, you've got to use every resource out there for yourself because you're the one solving problems in that law firm, left and right. So let's talk about some calm areas of law compared to litigation. Okay, my favorite is litigation. But in my book, Legal Break-In, I talk about matching your personality to the area of law you work in. And think about that hard. Okay, one of the first ones is estate planning. That means you're going to draft up documents, the will, living will, healthcare directive, durable power of attorney. Depends on your state and what like an attorney in Tennessee may be using some different documents, although the will be comparable. And a living will comparable. But in those documents, especially living will and healthcare directive, they will quote law for the state you're working in, okay? So there are laws governing most of what we do. Estate planning is a very calm area to work in, so is probate. Now, my home state of New Jersey, probate is not as involved as it is in Florida. We are definitely a state that made probate very complicated and difficult, okay? I mean, difficult in that it takes sometimes 9 months for that case to go through. And probate is settling the estate legally of someone who has passed on. And maybe you're the executor of your parents' will. And when they pass on, in my state, we have to file documents with the court, and that process is costly and it takes a while. In New Jersey, it's a snap. When my mother-in-law passed, this was quite a while ago though. She passed, 2003-ish. That whole probate matter cost about $200 and very few documents. So, very calm. Estate planning, probate. Can real estate closings, just that area, that's a separate subset of real estate, can that be very calm? Yes. Yes. The only time it would get tense is if monies that have to be deposited, something goes wrong with the wiring of the funds, that type of stuff. The only thing with that is that when I did house closings, I don't mean, I mean my own, where I was closing on a property, I had to go after work. And so a lot of people do. And so you may be there as the paralegal till 6 or 7 at night. That's something you need to check into when you're looking at real estate. Does that fit your lifestyle? And that's what I mean about, does it fit your personality and does it fit your lifestyle? And do you want to work past 5:30 every night? I certainly did not, and that's one of the reasons I never went into it. But if you have that flexibility, then look at that area of law. And where would you go first? Google. Okay? You can look on the YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel, Paralegal Career Mastermind, and there's a playlist that I've set up just for areas of law that I've covered, and it gives you like an insight. It's an overview, not an intense, deep dive into it, okay? But you can do deep dives on Google into different areas of law and what paralegals do. Some of you are so interested in criminal law. Well, then you would be on Google and you would look for what a paralegal does in criminal law. And what are those everyday duties? And then you have to look up each of those things. And it might seem overwhelming, but you have to I have my notebook buried over here, but you have to have your notebook ready and start writing things down, or do your research on your phone. And if you have a laptop, then type in some of that stuff, what those duties are, and keep it on your computer. So yes, that homework needs to be done in order to set yourself up properly for going in and learning about that area of law, and you won't feel like such a novice then when you're looking at those areas. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you off from litigation. Litigation, on the other hand, will make you very well-rounded, will enable you to ask for more money because of the type of detail you will learn to handle. And that's exactly how I raised my salary. And if you go to YouTube, Paralegal Career Mastermind, I have a video talking about how I raised my paralegal salary. And that's exactly how I did it. Because that first job was in litigation. So was the second job. And the third job was litigation as well, but also estate planning, probate, franchise agreements, that type of thing. So you start to, when you add other areas of law to your knowledge bank, you start to make yourself incredibly valuable. All right? Now, are you valuable as a novice? You are. You are valuable. And attorneys look at you as valuable. Some attorneys like to say, I like bringing on beginners because I can train them in the way that I like to work. Well, they don't really train. No one really trains in the law firm. Don't buy into that, okay? That's not true. But you doing your homework on Google and digging deep into those areas and tracking what you know, what you're learning. You know, I'm not saying that you have to become an attorney. You have to assist the attorney. So always look at it. What does the paralegal do in those areas? Right? And don't let anybody convince you that you shouldn't go into litigation or you shouldn't do this. You decide based on two factors. What is floating your boat? What area of law is lighting your fire? What area of law will make you happy to go to work every day? That's the questions. Those are the questions to ask yourself. And what fits you? What fits your personality? Yes, you will answer phones. You will be dealing with the clients. The attorney doesn't want to deal with the clients any more than he or she has to. You will be dealing with the clients. And even if you're an introvert, and I'm kind of at 50-50, then that doesn't matter. You have to adjust to the environment, but I want you to pick areas of law or an area of law that makes you happy. And when your alarm goes off in the morning, it's not that you're jumping for joy, but I mean you are like, I like what I'm doing. Okay, and that's exactly what I want for you, to find that niche that makes you happy, that you are interested in, that you want to learn more about. Okay? So that is it for today. Any questions while I'm on here? If you're posting them, Facebook's quirky. It doesn't show me. I'll see them later and I'll answer them. Don't forget, May 15th, the Paralegal Career, the Paralegal Inner Circle class launches officially, as does the Cover Letter Secrets class. People are joining already. The link is active, so you can scroll down and find that. Be sure that you scroll down and look for the Paralegal Resources Hub. If you're not involved in that, please get involved and sign up. Click the link, sign up, and watch some of those videos in there about, especially the one about 4 hot areas of law for 2021. I will update that before we go into 2022. And see how things have changed maybe a little bit, okay? Let's see, what else do I have for you? There's also a free webinar. Once you go into the hub and you look around, there's a free webinar on grabbing the attorney's attention when you're trying to land a job, okay? And you can scroll down through the feed and see that free webinar. There's a link for that too, okay? All right, have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me live. Hopefully this video was not staticky. If it was or is, then I will redo it and record it. All right, have a great one. I'll talk to you in the next video.